So, well, here we are. And once again, we have somebody that is filing a sexual harassment claim. So this time against Corey Lewandowski. So let me tell you what happened here, okay? A songstress by the name of Joy Villa, who was noted for going to last year's Grammys in a MAGA dress, says that former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski, quote, painfully slapped her on the rear at a party. This story came out a week ago. It got no traction, nothing, because it's nonsense. So now what she does is she's frustrated that it got no play, so she filed a complaint against him with the Washington, D.C. police and says his behavior shows he's unfit to be around the president. Now, here's my first thing. If you're filing a complaint, what does it have to do with him being around the president? Either he assaulted you or not. Whether he's with the president or with me, what the hell's that got to do with anything? So just by the fact that the woman said he's unfit to be around the president, she has politicized her assault charge as a weapon. Bang, right there. Otherwise, why is that relevant to anything? Singer Joy Villa told Newsweek yesterday that she contacted police this week, having never received a word of apology from Lewandowski after he smacked her rear 2 times at a late November party. Villa said that she was told by a detective that the slapping incident she described was not considered harassment as she initially thought, but assault. Okay, now, let's go a step further with this. A sexual abuse allegation report has been filed, said D.C. police spokesman Hugh Carew. It remains under investigation and no one has been charged. Villa said it didn't have to come to this had Lewandowski apologize. She said, I would like to see Lewandowski apologize to admit that he disrespected me. He disrespected the president because he's close to the president. What does this have to do with the president? If you were assaulted, you were assaulted. Now, I'm going to tell you the background on this story in a minute. And, of course, Villa was the one who famously wore a Make America Great Again gown to the Grammy Awards. She says, as it stands, I will be pressing charges. I will be continuing with this investigation because it is a criminal offense. Now, she has no witnesses to this, and this was at a party. Villa and Lewandowski were guests at a November 28th party at the Trump International Hotel in D.C. This was previously reported by Politico. Villa says that after the two posed for a picture together at her request, that Lewandowski whacked her on the butt. She said it was painful. Okay, so she says he slapped her on the butt and she found it painful. She said it was an extreme slap. I mean, if it had been on my face or on any other part of my body, I'm sure it would have left her like a bruise or mark, said Villa. Like I told the police, it was bordering on violence. It was extremely sobering in the fact, like, whoa, knock it off. Now, there's a picture posted of them, which is actually the picture that she wanted. And Corey's not slapping her butt. Looks like they're having a good time and playing around, whatever. There's no witnesses. Villa told Newsweek that she cautioned Lewandowski that she could report him for sexual harassment, to which she said he jeered, "Go ahead, I work in the private sector." Then she says Lewandowski proceeded to slap my butt extremely hard to the point that it hurt and laughed in my face and ran off. And there were no witnesses there, even though the party was packed. I don't remember being at that party. I don't think I was there, but I know people that were, and it was packed. But, of course, no one saw it. Now, Lewandowski is being advocated by people like me and others to replace Bill Stepien as the White House political director because Stepien has failed miserably in his job and he's over his head and he's sinking. And the White House political office is a disaster. It's a zombie land. Their messaging is miserable. They have absolutely no clue what to do. They're getting their clocks cleaned all over the place. They have no strategy. And if you're going to a bazooka fight, you can't bring a pop gun. And that's basically what Stepien is doing there. He's in over his head, period. All you have to do is look at the results. You look at the results in Virginia. They had no strategy. The White House had no Virginia strategy. None. Not Trump's fault. This comes from the White House political office. Remember, George Bush had Karl Rove. Barack Obama had David Axelrod. President Trump has Bill Stepien? You've got to be kidding me. The guy joined the campaign in October, not exactly in October of 2016, not exactly a profile in courage, if you ask me. And so he did a good job in counting the votes in Florida. All of a sudden, he ends up as White House political director. His staff is overmatched. He's overmatched, and they have no plan, and they're going to lose. So there's people like me advocating that if you're going to go to a bazooka fight, you can't go with a switchblade. You need somebody who's going to come in there with tanks, and that's Lewandowski. You need a street fighter. You need somebody who can do battle in a war, and Stepien's in over his head. So this had come out in Politico and other journals before this incident was raised. So this happened on November 28th. Then in December, it becomes clear that there is a movement underfoot in order to replace Stepien with Lewandowski. I want you to follow me here because I tell you the truth. Then Joy Villa says she's going to run for Congress. In running for Congress, she goes to the White House political director, Bill Stepien, to get their support. Obviously, Stepien backs Villa, which means in a contested primary, if he can get the president to back Villa and send a tweet out and go down and campaign for her and give her money, obviously she's going to be the favorite. So her ally to run for Congress is Bill Stepien, White House political director. You following me? Then this party happens November 28th. A month goes by after the alleged slapping on the butt. A month goes by. 1 month goes by. Right? Okay. Then it's reported in Politico and the Washington Post that Lewandowski is in line to replace Stepien. Then this assault charge is revealed. So let me get this straight. It happened on November 28th, and 3 weeks go by, and she says nothing. She was at a party. If you look at the picture that was shot that she asked to be taken with Lewandowski, his hand is nowhere near her butt, and it looks like both of them were having a good time. Read between the lines. Right? Alcohol was flowing. Looks like they were having fun. That's what a party is supposed to be. Have fun. Then 3 weeks later, nothing is said about it. Then it's reported that Lewandowski is a favorite to replace Stepien as White House political director, and the Washington Post and Politico and other news outlets carry the story that Lewandowski and Stepien had a public fight in the Oval Office. And Lewandowski called him out in front of the president, which is a bold move. It took some balls, but the stakes are high. If we lose the House, Trump will get impeached and the administration's over. Even though he'll be exonerated in the Senate because there'll be no charges, it doesn't matter. If the Democrats take over, they're going to raise money and run on impeaching the president. It doesn't matter if they impeach him because he puts jelly on a peanut butter sandwich. It's irrelevant. They'll find something. They don't like his hair, whatever. So then her story comes out. After Lewandowski is in line advocated by some to replace Stepien, who is Joy Villa's ally in the White House in a run for Congress. Look, I don't know if this happened, but I tell you what, I'm getting very suspicious of people utilizing this stuff as a political weapon. If it happened on November 28th, why didn't she report it on November 29th? Why do you wait 3 weeks? And why do you wait until after the person who you're alleging slapped you on the butt at a party is rumored to be in line to take the place of your ally in the White House? And why in your statement on Newsweek 2 times are you saying I'm doing this because he shouldn't be near the president? If you are attacked by somebody and you think it is assault, what difference does it make who he's with? What difference does that make? Whether you're with the president or you're with nobody. What does that have to do with anything? I mean, she raised it as a political specter. Now, look, I broadcast from Lewandowski's office home in D.C. I'm there all the time. That's where he lives during the week. I get into that place at 4 a.m. Do you think when I get in at 4 a.m., I don't know what the hell is going on in there? Yeah, he's upstairs asleep. I mean, I've been there in his company multiple times. This is simply not something the guy would do. I have been with him too long. I spent too much time with him. He doesn't go around slapping people on the butt. It's not his style. He doesn't do it. So, do I believe her? No. I'm sorry. I don't. I think the whole thing is a political concoction in order to use this as a weapon in order to protect her ally Stepien against Lewandowski. And I'm getting sick and tired of this nonsense. You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network, Trucking the Truth. I'll be right back.